Part of me paused before I hit record on this one. Some of the things I hear in my office aren't really meant to be shared publicly, but this has been weighing on me since this morning, and pretending it didn't happen just feels wrong. There was a woman who came in earlier today, mid-40s, been married for a long time, showed up by herself and told me she just needed to talk through something she couldn't quite bring herself to say at home. It wasn't anything dramatic, no affair, no big fight, no crisis, just something that had quietly changed. Over the past couple of years, she said her husband had gotten rougher, more forceful, faster. Not because she'd ever asked for that. It had just gradually become how things went. He just grabs me, flips me over, and races through it, she said, like he's chasing a finish line instead of actually being with me. And then she said something that hit me right in the chest. I feel used, not loved. When a woman tells you that, she's pointing to something very precise. The physical force is there, the urgency is there, but the emotional message is completely absent. The part that tells her she matters during something so intimate, not that she's just a body in the room while it happens. She told me she'd stopped looking forward to it altogether. That's a quiet sentence, but the weight behind it is enormous. And then, and this is what really stuck with me, barely an hour later, another woman sits down in the exact same chair and describes the complete opposite situation. Different marriage, about 10 years in. She almost seemed embarrassed to even bring it up, but she said everything had become so cautious, so delicate, so calculated that she couldn't find herself in it anymore. He asks permission before every single move, she said. He checks in constantly, pauses all the time. Sometimes I just want him to stop being so careful and just want me. Just pull me close without hesitating. Just hold me down without thinking it through first. She wasn't describing a desire for violence. She was describing a desire for raw wanting, the kind that doesn't feel scripted, the kind that doesn't stop to be polite before it happens. And that's the moment it clicked for me. These two women are describing the exact same erosion, just from completely different directions. One had stopped feeling cherished. The other had stopped feeling desired. I've noticed this in myself too, not as a physician, as a woman. There are moments when what I crave is to feel completely held, unhurried, truly seen. When the whole point isn't speed or intensity, but presence. When someone taking their time with me feels like a declaration, you are important to me. And then there are other moments when I don't want careful at all. I want to feel chosen in a way that isn't managed or calculated, where someone pulls me in without second guessing it, where there's a firmness, a decisiveness that doesn't ask for approval first. Both of those needs are absolutely real. One builds safety, the other ignites desire. And when either one vanishes for too long, everything just starts to slowly fade. The strange part is, it doesn't even happen dramatically. That's what makes it so unsettling. It just gradually becomes less electric, less alive, less like something either person actually wants to show up for. This connects to something I honestly didn't anticipate. I've been recommending a nitric oxide supplement to some of my male patients, primarily for circulation and performance. Nothing extreme, just supporting healthy blood flow. A handful of those men came back weeks later and mentioned that their wives had started taking it too, almost as an afterthought, just curiosity. And the women reported that things felt more responsive, more awake, more present in their own bodies. It makes complete sense when you stop and think about it. Blood flow is blood flow. The body doesn't suddenly rewrite its rules because you're a woman. I ended up trying it myself, purely out of professional curiosity, and it's difficult to explain without sounding like I'm exaggerating. It just made me feel more connected to my own body, more physically aware. I'm not going to overstate it, it's not a miracle, but it was noticeable enough that I kept using it. If you're curious, the link is down below. That's all I'll say about it. But none of that replaces what actually matters, which is communication. The men who keep something alive in their relationships are the ones who can sense that shift happening, or at the very least, ask about it in a way that feels like genuine caring and not like a checklist. I put something together for the men who sit across from me and say, I want to do better, I just don't know what to even ask her. I'm calling it the Desire Playbook. And yes, I fully realize that sounds like some dramatic late-night infomercial title. I just couldn't come up with a better way to describe it. It's basically 20 questions that actually crack open this conversation in a real way. It's free. I made it because I was exhausted from watching good men walk out of my office, genuinely wanting to improve things, but having no clue where to begin. If that sounds useful to you, it's there waiting. I suppose what keeps sitting with me tonight is that the couples who stay truly alive together aren't the ones who discovered some magic technique or secret formula. They're the ones where both people still feel not just loved, but genuinely felt, actively desired, and completely safe, in a balance that never stops adjusting. I keep replaying those two women, an hour apart, same chair, opposite problems that somehow grew from the exact same quiet place inside them. I haven't figured out how to say that to either of them yet. Maybe I never will. Maybe it's enough to just keep paying attention.